Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to spend 1 hour and we're going to try and find a good, reliable car for $12,000 or less on Facebook Marketplace. We're going to see if it's possible. I've been looking for months for a new car and it just seems like the car market right now is not very good. So let's see in late March of 2026 if we can find one that's decent. And just so everybody knows, I'm very particular about cars that I would buy, and I'm going to treat this as if you were my own family, if I would recommend buying a car and for what price, because what people are suggesting these days is outrageous. Right now at a first glance, I see some, good looking prices, good looking cars. Mainly what we're going to look for is Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry. What we're just looking for is the biggest bang for your buck, something that'll save gas. All right, so let's get started. So right now, I'm just looking in the general area around St. Louis. If you guys want me to look in your particular city, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. This is just, Midwest city, middle class people, what they need. Seemed like a good city to start from. So right off the bat, we're going to see, 2018 Corolla, 195,000 miles. Let's stay away from that. 8,500 for something with 200,000 miles is insanity. That's a $2,000 car. I don't care if it's 2018. It's an LE. Yes, it has four-wheel drive, but you are quickly going to experience, you're going to have to account for some maintenance in the suspension, possibly with the engine. You don't really know. That is a big gamble. To spend almost $10,000, that is not a good pick. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we have a 2014 Corolla, 113,000 miles, almost 12 grand. Do I think something with 113,000 miles that is 12 years old is worth 12 grand? I do not. That's something that I would pay probably around $10,000 for. It's 12 years old. It's looks like it's got a 6-speed manual. That's something that you could argue, to bring down the cost. There's not a lot of people out there that can drive manual, so the demand for it is not really there in general. If you are someone that likes manual, like myself, I love manual cars, that's a great opportunity. It is a Corolla S, which gives it a good kind of bump in my book. It's got the leather seats, probably it being the S. It's got like this hybrid cloth leather seat. These are actually really great seats. They don't stain very easily and they hold up over time very well. Looks like we got pretty nice interior here. 6-speed manual. I do like that. In general, people that can drive manuals know how to take care of their vehicles as well. I think that would be a pretty strong option. Now, just remember, what really kind of annoys me is the dealers are kind of all over Facebook Marketplace now. I totally understand it, but you go on Facebook Marketplace, you're looking to get private sale deals. You want to get something that, can beat a dealer price. Something like this, $12,000 is not bad, but after taxes and titles and fees, you're probably looking at another, $2,000. I would negotiate that down to 10.2 and have that compensate for those taxes, titles, and fees. It's a 12-year-old vehicle with over 100,000 miles. It is a Toyota, but I'm not paying $14,000-$15,000, for something like that. I mean, let's go on to a car loan calculator right here. And let's say the auto price is 12,000. You do not want a loan term over 60 months. You know, really, if you want to be financially savvy, you want to pay as little interest as possible. Typically, if you're going to get a loan, your interest rate for something of that age is going to be around 7%. Let's say you have $1,000 down payment and sales tax in Missouri. Where's Missouri? Oh, here we go. 6.25%. Title registration, other fees. I don't think it's gonna be 2,600. It's probably more like, let's just say it's 2,000, and we'll just, be conservative in our estimate here. 263 a month. That's not bad. Not bad. But you do have an upfront payment at that point of, about $4,000. And, your total in the end is going to be 16.3 for a 12-year-old vehicle, a Corolla, that is, has over 100,000 miles. That's crazy. Car prices are not great these days, but, it's sad to say that could be a reasonable option. And that's, if it has a clean title. Let's see. One owner, that's great. The first thing I would do, ask if it's a clean title. Get that Carfax history report, see if it has been in an accident or not. If it has been in any sort of accident, whether it's minor and cosmetic, always use that in your advantage to talk somebody down. Okay, here we have a 2018 Toyota Corolla LE for $14,500 with 87,000 miles. That's not bad. That is not bad. But I am guessing... Oh, wow, look at that. It has a clean title. Wow, looks like some good cars have been popping up just while I've been at work this week. Not been finding deals like this. $8,500, 2013 Toyota Corolla S with 85,000 miles. That's something you want to look for. That is a good deal if it has a clean title. Now, look at that. Rebuilt title. Stay away from rebuilt titles. I don't care. Stay away from it. You do not want to waste your money and regret having something go wrong right after you buy it. 12.5 2016 Toyota Corolla, 20,000 miles. Guarantee that is a rebuilt title. Yep, rebuilt title. Okay, 2016 Toyota Corolla LE, 75,000 miles. Okay, they don't specify whether it has a clean title or not. Therefore, very likely that it does not have a clean title. It is probably rebuilt. And in pictures, those seats are disgusting. You always want to look at the body panels in photos. You want to see if there's any weird lineup, see if there's any panel gaps. That shifter is gross. For 2016, yeah, it's 10 years old, but it's only got how many miles? 75,000 for it to be in that kind of shape. This owner did not take care of their vehicle. You do not want to buy this. All right, here we go. 2008 Toyota Corolla 7K with 82,000 miles. Exterior and interior clean, no mechanical issues, drives perfect. All right, ask him if it has a clean title. If it's got a clean title, that is a winner. Look at this. Clean. The 2008 Corolla, that thing will get you from A to B every single day. And when you buy that thing, you won't even notice. With that an auto loan calculator, you got $7,000. Let's do 36 months, 7% interest rate, $1,000 down payment, title, registration, other fees. You're probably looking at $500 for that. Oh yeah, 185 a month, no problem. You're still gonna get over 30 miles per gallon. That's a winner. 2016 Toyota Corolla LE, 95,000 miles for $10K. That must have a rebuilt title. Title in hand. Well, yep, rebuilt title. Stay away. You do not want to mess with these cars. I don't care if you need and are desperate for a car. Do not do it. And we have to remember that we are the market. You know, people will put prices out there, especially dealerships nowadays. People are insane what they're paying for brand new vehicles. You know what would make the prices of brand new vehicles not so high? If people didn't buy them. Stop buying these new cars. Everybody complains about the prices of new vehicles. It's like, yeah, that's because people keep buying them. The dealerships need to sell cars a lot more than you need to buy cars. So you have all the power. The market drives these prices. And if we don't put up with this, we're not going to have these kinds of prices. The manufacturers will respond to the market, but yet people still pay over $50,000. You know, it's like a new Toyota Camry XLE is like 45 grand. That's crazy. Let's look. Look at this. $41,000. The MSRP, almost $44,000. That is insane. I don't care how good it is. I mean, they're basically like Lexus now. They got all the great features. I would love that car. But guess what? I would never, ever in my wildest dreams pay that kind of money for this car. Even if you have the money to afford that, why would you do it? Do not do that. You are voting with your money. Okay, 2021 Toyota Corolla, 127,000 miles. That's a lot of miles for 5 years. 13 grand. They do not disclose whether or not it has a clean title. My guess is this probably does. It's high mileage. That thing looks clean as a whistle. A little bit of wear on the seats. That's okay. But I mean, compare that to the previous Corolla with 85,000 miles. Look at that shifter. It's in good shape. No problem. 13 grand for something with 130,000 miles. You know, those things can last a while. That is a kind of a newer year, but you know, I would still, you know, I would debate that one. You could convince me, but you know, I would still in general probably not go for that. 2022 Toyota Corolla, that is a newer year, 71,000 miles. Hey, that's within your budget. You know, you could convince me that that's a good deal. But guess what? You could find a Lexus ES350 from 2014, 2015, you know, with like 90,000 miles. That's just as reliable, if not more reliable, for less money. You know, it doesn't get the gas mileage that this Corolla gets, but you know, there are better buys out there. That's something I would throw an offer for 14.5. That would be a good value. And you know what? Typically, I'm throwing prices out there. What I would pay, it's like, it's crazy because people will say I'm crazy. It's like, no, you're crazy and the market is crazy for what you would accept. But I know what a good deal is. I'm telling you, I would not pay $17,000 for a used Corolla with almost 100,000 miles. It's got 71. It's okay. It is newer. It's 4 years old, but still, that's it's debatable. Look at this, 2022 Toyota Corolla, 160,000 miles, 14.5. You have got to be out of your mind to pay 14.5 for that. What was the MSRP of a 2022 Toyota Corolla when it came out? Okay, used 22. Okay. 20,000 to 28,000 when it was new. Well, guess what? If that car has, let's just say it was 24,000, because let's see, what trim was that? Oh, we don't know. Let's find it. XLE. Okay, so let's put it on the higher side. Let's say it was like 28,000. So it's got 160,000 miles, 14.5. So for half the cost of what it was new, essentially. 160,000 miles. I don't think so. You could say on a good car, on a, let's say you maintained it your entire life and you were the only one that bought it brand new. Okay, you're looking at 300 plus thousand miles. This is over 50% driven. You don't know how that person took care of this vehicle, and that in and of itself decreases its value. Let's use a benchmark safely of 250 to 275. That is not a $14,500 car. That is a $12,000 car. Okay? Like, let's just keep it real. You're gonna buy this, and let's say you're getting this because you drive a lot and you're trying to save gas. You're putting on almost 20,000 miles a year. Let's just do that to keep it easy. Okay, so in 2 years, you're gonna have 200,000 miles on it in 2 years. Yeah, guess what? When something's over 200,000 miles, that is worth nothing. I don't care what people tell you. You could try and resell it for, $10,000 at that point. But in 2 years, you're going to lose $4,500 plus your taxes, titles, and fees. You're going to be out the door around 16,500. Like, okay, so you're basically going to throw away $6,500 in 2 years? I don't think so. For something that you're going to have to maintain, you're going to need new suspension, probably going to have to do something with the cooling system. Typically their AC units, last pretty good, but overall, no way I would do that. You want to talk 12,000? Sure. You could maybe convince me for an XLE with a clean title, but realistically, yeah, sure, $12,000. I'd pay that, maybe, but 160,000 miles? No, I think that's a $9,000 car. $9,000. Because in 2 years, you shouldn't lose that much depreciation. Okay? Like, it's already should have lost its depreciation. I mean, yeah, it's half of what it was, 4 years ago, but it's already more than halfway done here. Okay, so 12,000, reasonable. 10,000, great value. But yeah, no, you can't be doing that. Okay, here we go. 2014 Toyota Camry XLE sedan, 10,297,000 miles. I pray this does not have a rebuilt title. Clean title, 97,000 miles. These babies go forever. My dad has one of these, 2012, and it's got like 280,000 miles on it. He bought it brand new and he took good care of it. 10.2, see, that's what I'm talking about. That Corolla had 160,000 miles. This one has 97. This can go all day. That's a good buy. That's an excellent buy. And you know what? Difference between this being a 2014 and the Corolla being a 2022, that don't make no difference. Oof. That seat is rough. And that console's rough. That is disgusting. This dude put some aftermarket lights on. Changed all the wheels. Looks alright. I guess it does look better than stock, but geez, man, what happened with that driver's seat, brother? He was sweating while he was driving. Ooh, and look at this moonroof. That does not look like it's in the best of shape. It looks like there's some paint or something. Maybe that's exposed metal. Maybe he had it open. I don't really know. That looks problematic. And this headliner does not look good either. What was this guy doing in this car? There's a reason this price is low. You could detail it. You could buy that, detail it, get a good price, and that thing probably lasts a while, but kind of strikes me as a car you didn't really take care of. Stay away from the IS250. I'm going to shout out Car Care Nut on that one. Great price, low miles, but that's for a reason. Do not buy. I'm absolutely not a Prius fan, but hey, if you can get over the fact that it's a Prius, 10.5, 111,000 miles, I mean, you're going to get 300k miles with 51 mpg on that. That'll do good. If that has a clean title, that's a good deal. But you know what? If it's coming from a dealer, they should disclose if it has a clean title right away. Anytime they don't say it has a clean title in the description, I pretty much assume that it doesn't. Well, that looks like it concludes my search for Corollas. I'm probably going to split this up into more videos, going over Camrys, and then Honda Civic and Honda Accord. But, I mean, doesn't look like there's too hot of choices going on right now in St. Louis. There's a couple good ones out there. But, we found a winner right at the end here. Extremely well taken care of. 2008 Toyota Corolla LE, 74,000 miles, clean title, non-smoker, no pets, no stains or rips. Look at this beauty. $9,000? Okay, guys. Great A to B vehicle. What are we doing in this market? That is not a $9,000 car. It's old. But you know what? It's still a better deal than most of the other ones out there. I would offer him $6,700 for this thing. It's dated. It is absolutely dated. But man, that thing is pristine. He's not crazy in his price compared to everything else out there. But guys, we should not be paying $9,000 for this thing. You know, in an ideal world, that's the magic $5,000 car that gets handed down. You help the young generation out. You know, times are tough though. Everybody does need money. You know, but $6,700, that's a deal. $9,000, you could say you could convince me, but that's still crazy. Still crazy. But you know what? That thing will get you from A to B every single day. You will have no worries. You could drive across the country in that baby. Heck, I might send him an offer tonight. Alright, y'all. If you have any cars that you want me to find for you, please comment down below. If you want me to look in a certain city, please let me know. Just remember, you are the market. Everybody else will tell you, oh, well, these are really hot cars and the prices are just crazy. The only reason prices are crazy is because people keep paying them. And we're throwing our money away and making our lives a lot harder on ourselves. Do not say yes. It is better off. You are better off, getting by with whatever you got right now. Even if you got a big costly fix, better to spend $3,000 right now than taking out a loan for $10,000 or $12,000 or $14,000 or $20,000 or $40,000. Okay? We gotta be financially responsible. If you found this useful, if you have any tips on how I can make these better, please comment down below what I can do for you. Appreciate it. Take care.